All right, Matthew Oliver, House of Oliver, and here we are with a bunch of patriots and radicals who are fighting and standing up for freedom. Some amazing ladies. We are literally days away from a historic, monumental event, the recall of a sitting governor. It's only the second time in state's history that this has happened. And the recall of Gavin Newsom. And I'm surrounded virtually by the ladies who helped make this happen. California, the fifth largest economy in the world. It is huge. It's diverse. And yet, if the recall did one thing, it drew people together and drew our communities together, our lives together, and made us realize we are standing in unity together for one key thing, which is fighting for our rights and our freedom. And so thank you, ladies, for joining us today. So we're going to ask a couple of key questions, and I'm going to help try to, there is no taming this at all. So I know that already. It's a lost cause.
We're not done fighting. We're not done fighting until Gavin is out. And absolutely. We're coming after the rest of them that are taking away our freedom.
Okay, so on that note, Amy, how do you feel the hope of the state is right now? What are your expectations, and what do you see the future looking like?
You know what? Even in those darkest days that you asked me about, I've always had hope. I mean, that's why all of us keep doing what we're doing. And so I actually am putting a lot of hope into the people that are watching. You've got your ballot. Roxanne, I saw your Twitter video of telling people about how to vote in the recall. Question number 1, yes, you want to remove Gavin Newsom. And then number 2, who you're going to vote for. So I actually want to share with you who I'm going to vote for. This guy is our hero. So like in the early days, like when San Diego was just completely shut down, Kevin actually came down to one of our freedom markets where we invited a whole bunch of businesses that had been shut down and were suffering so that they could actually make a little bit of money. And he actually spoke and he said, wow, he said, the energy is just amazing here. He said he hadn't seen anything like it in such a long time. So anyway, just watching Kevin fight, like early on, suing Gavin Newsom, that really just gave me hope in those dark days. And so, yep, he's got my vote. And I voted yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, so then because I'm sitting next to Shannon, I don't ask you as many questions because we're just here. But what about you? What do you see the hope? What does the future look like for you? How do you feel about the recall? How do you feel about no matter what happens in the recall? Because of this year, what do you see the future looking like?
Okay, so I feel really deeply about the recall. I do. I live and breathe it. No, it has actually become my life, become my passion. This isn't anybody I thought I was going to be. I'm political now. Oops, excuse me. And I even took like classes. I went to the GOP because I wanted to know more, and awesome. I figured, why not? It wasn't anything I wanted to do, but it just became like, you can't get back in that box. You understand now what's going on. You have to be a part of it, or else you're just going to be a part of the unwinding.
Okay, but in days.
Okay, in
days, the recall's over.
Okay.
So then your life's over? No.
No.
I mean, you can't. I mean, you got too much passion, too much awesome, too much going. So what does a month from now, no matter what happened in the recall, what does a month from now look like for Shannon?
I'm starting a new recall.
Who's next? Let's get it. Well, do you feel like there's a goal? I mean,
there is a goal, actually. Yeah.
And I'm with Angela on this. as a restaurant owner, we're neutral. We are neutral zone. We are neutral ground.
Not
And
anymore.
actually, I still say you can wear a mask if you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
You can get a shot or as many shots. I will give you shots if you want. Our recall, my Newsom bell, my Gavin Newsom bell. And I'm sorry I don't have it. It's at the other restaurant. But when he said that, Gavin said we had to close at 10 o'clock.
I was here.
We decided to do Newsom hour, which was after 10 o'clock.
Yep.
And my majority of my staff are liberal, independent, Democrats. I have a staff member who said he voted for Newsom in. Can't wait to vote him out. But that aside, when I told them we were going to do Newsom hour, they were all thrilled. One, they kind of like bucking authority a little bit, you know?
It's fun.
But this is how they make their money. This is their living that's being impacted.
Yeah.
We are getting our freedom back.
We are getting our freedom back.
And here's the thing that's so important. That's why I came to California, right? It used to be the chill place where you could, everybody has this sort of job where they can go to yoga at 9 and then roll in to, my battery was dying. So everyone has a job where they can sort of do yoga, roll into work, do whatever they do, and then, do a guest star on a sitcom or whatever when they can. And we've lost that. It's become run by absolute scolds. I mean, people who, when you're taking a shower, they want to reach in and adjust the water. You're like, hey, remember, you're supposed to be
you get water?
Fighting the establishment.
What state are you in?
You have water? Yeah, I do. I'm special. And I think even if we don't, which I don't think is possible. All right, it's a possibility. The fact that so many people had their eyes open to realize that California is the hot zone, that we're the petri dish for the rest of the country. We can't unsee that. And so no matter what, this has been an amazing, wonderful adventure. I know someone posted the link to the documentary, which I hear is great, which I cannot wait to see. This recall predates the French Laundry. It predates things being locked down. It is about hypocrisy, malfeasance, and incompetence. And we would like to have good governance back. And I'm voting for Kevin Kiley.
I just tell you the funniest thing ever. So I'm totally not in politics at all, right?
Yeah.
And so this is really embarrassing. I didn't even know we had an assembly. It's terrible.
Me neither.
Sorry, guys.
I don't know much either.
Smarter now, okay? I swear, I've been learning. And so we're in Yuba City. These guys are taking Newsom to court, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. There are assembly guys, and I'm like, well, what is an assembly? What is he doing? What? And then they're like, a lot of these ladies love Kevin. Okay. They love Kevin. And so they're like, oh, Kevin Kiley's here. I'm like, who the heck is Kevin Kiley? And I'm like, I'm just trying to get signatures. I am here to get rid of Newsom. And I'm like, they're like, no, we're going to stay and wait for Kevin Kiley. And I'm like, I got to leave. I got to go do some more stuff. The first time I met him was here at this book signing.
Yeah.
So I'd always kind of like missed him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, that's Kevin Kiley. And then all of a sudden I hear him speaking. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
Yeah.
I was like, I am into politics now. This person is just like, I had like a hero thing. I was
we
like,
have a messiah complex.
That's how I feel about Angela.
right?
So,
I couldn't even breathe almost. And I was like, I got him to sign my flag. I was excited. It was my
I
recall
got
flag.
him to sign my flag too. Okay. Did you know? Just don't tell anybody.
Okay.
Whenever I interview Kevin, so not only do I interview him, but he's a friend and we love Kevin, but I'm always standing now on my tippy toes when I interview Kevin, because I did one interview when I wasn't on my tippy toes and I looked like an Oompa Loompa next to him. And I was like, never again. So I interview him all the time, but I'm always on my tippy toes. It's a
standing
rule.
on a chair.
Yeah. So, because that guy can't be making everybody look fat.
Shannon does his hair, by the way.
I do his hair and his makeup.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad because I did one time with him and his hair was like floppy and all over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no one needs to help this.
And he's just so intelligent. He's like, whatever, get out of my way. I need to tell you people stuff. And it's like, okay, I respect that.
I
What I like is when you
who
put
cares more about freedom than about hair gel.
Yeah, well, about hair gel. What I like is Kevin and James Gallagher, when they're together, one's very much got the laid back surfer kind of vibe. One's the super duper intellectual, heady kind, and they really balance themselves well.
Yeah.
So Shannon Heil and I have been working together since June of 2020. And I, like you, Angela, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm trying to protect my mindset because my anxiety is on like high alert right now. I'm just going to be honest.
Mine too.
And I'm working through that. But every time I feel this way, this Shannon Heil, her incredible energy and positivity, she's like, I'm going to cry too, because we have been through a long journey together, but I have to just be cautiously optimistic. I wish I was religious. I'm not. I try to be. I don't know. Anyway, Matthew, I try. I'm trying.
Don't try.
I'm too controlled.
Let it go.
But anyway, I will keep fighting, but I'm just protecting my own self-preservation. But like Mike Netter, I was telling Angela today. I think it was you, Angela. Mike Netter talked me off the ledge last week. The funniest guy in the world, right? He's so sarcastic. He's so funny. I was in a drive-through line and I was just losing it, crying. And he called me about the premiere of the movie or something. He was so great and talked me through it. He says, no, we've created this awareness. We're all saying, we're at this level of awareness and fight that no one even knew we had. And so many people are awake, and it's not going to go away. And the election's in a year. So if we don't do it this time, we'll do it next time.
Like, everything we're doing makes a difference. And I do believe that we have a shot at winning. But even if we don't, we're changing things, period. And the vaccine mandates are so important. And you guys are the leaders. And I just want to just tell me where to go and what I need to do, because I'm so happy to know everybody.
Well, don't leave.
I'm sorry.
Don't leave.
The wine.
That's
maybe
what
it's the wine, but I just love you guys. So thank you.
Put out there too is, all joking aside, the reason why I honestly stand for Kevin Kiley, my strong point on this is, and I'm literally, Oren called me right away because I told this to Kevin too. I said, fantasy football. And we would joke about this as we're doing the recall. What's your fantasy governor? And we're like, Kevin Kiley. We don't know if he wants to run. We don't know if he's even possible. But, seriously, we're like, who checks all the boxes?
Yeah.
Who has all these marks and thinks about people other than himself? And I'm like, are you a unicorn? Are you real? Is this happening? And so to me, it was like, I have children. And then I'm like, oh my God, he's a teacher? What?
Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing is he's always teaching you when he's telling you a speech or something. He's always teaching you. He's still that professor. He's still that teacher. But what's the most important thing to me is that I can actually, and this is scary to say, I can trust him as a politician, which is crazy. Yeah. And, I still pinch myself. I have these little children that are relying on me to protect them. The government has taken my ability to do that away. And here we have this young man, that is killing himself traveling around California. He is not being sponsored by anybody but the people. Yeah. This is grassroots. Yeah. So he wrote the book on recall because he was so disgusted with him.
And nobody was backing the recall.
Nobody.
The Republican Party wasn't backing it. News wouldn't cover it. Nope. Radio, not even radio hosts.
Nobody
would cover it.
No rescue.
By the way, before my phone's about to die, but this is my favorite. So is mine. Kevin wrote a book about the recall that's 233 pages long. 66 of those pages are footnotes. He has the receipts. He's the big geek that is ready. It's his time, because we need someone who cares that much about law and order and constitutionality and the Bill of Rights.
And schools.
Yeah. Yes, he is all for these children. And I mean, I can't express it to people enough when they think, oh, who should I vote for? I'm like, listen, who are you talking about? The person that was on the road, the person that has the disheveled hair and the, a suit, he's popping out of the car. Who cares? That guy's jumping up on stage and he's like, ta-da!
Well, that's the thing is when you would watch him in the debates, he was somebody, what we really enjoyed about watching the debates is he was somebody who was representing all of California,
Yes.
not just one side or the other, but everybody. And what a great testimony. I love the fact that he says every time the most important job of the next governor is to make sure the next governor is not that important.
Amen.
Love that.
We should all appreciate is that Kevin is not running to tear down anyone else in the race except the incompetent Newsom. There is no one that wants freedom that Kevin is trying to kneecap. And I can't say that, sadly, for all of the candidates.
Well, I'm going to tell you guys, I think one of the most important things, no matter what happens after this recall, is taking that time to really focus. You know, they've taken away our liberties slowly. We need to start taking them back as fast as we can and really pinpointing and fighting some of these smaller elections and making changes, because those are the people who are really controlling. When school boards are controlling our lives, when local health officials are controlling our lives, we've got to make a change. And you've already shown you can do that.
Board of Supervisors. Yes.
Board of Supervisors.
It starts with not just this election, because the one thing that always irritated me about Kevin Kiley's first debate is he's so honest. He's not politician enough. And they would ask him a couple questions. They asked him a question on the border and they said, what would you do at the border? And instead of him just saying the border is going to be a top priority, he responded with, well, the governor can only do so much. No, we don't want an honest answer. Lie to us. But the reality is the governor can only do so much. And that's when we've got to start fighting these smaller, the board of supervisors.
Yes, local.
Yeah.
Local.
Local.
And I appreciate you guys jumping on. I am hopeful after talking to you and meeting one of my heroes. So woo, it's an awesome moment and kind of blushing a little bit. But thank you, ladies, for showing us what true strength really is. I'm so proud and honored to be in a state partnered shoulder to shoulder with such amazing, mighty women. Woo, it's an awesome moment and kind of blushing a little bit. But thank you, ladies, for showing us what true strength really is. I'm so proud and honored to be in a state partnered shoulder to shoulder with such amazing, mighty women.
Thank you, Maggie. That's nice.
Thank you.
I feel the same way, and thank you for continuing to do what you're doing. And you guys, tell me where you need me or what do I need to do, because I'm honored to be around you guys. Seriously,
just keep fighting, and I'm also I'm kind of geeking out too, because I invited all of you on here on purpose too, because I was admiring them from afar.
Yes,
watching their videos, like I want to be there. You know, I feel like I'm sad because I left at the last minute for San Diego. When I was living in San Diego, I was like, oh, they're doing what I want to do too, and we're trying to do it out here, and it's hard because we have such a mix in Sacramento. And, and then seeing what happened to your business, Angela, I wanted to go knock those tents down with you. I was like,
listen, when I went to speak with Joe Collins' campaign in San Francisco, I mean, it literally was 3 days, San Francisco to Sacramento. I hadn't been up to San Francisco in a long time. Within 24 hours, my car windows were bashed out. Lucky, who was speaking with me, his suitcase was stolen within 1 minute.
We were there, Angela. We saw you speak.
I went to Sacramento and I couldn't believe that this was our state capital.
Yep.
I was like, wow.
To be able to hang out with you all, raise a glass, and let's go make history. And those who are watching, you're going to help us make history.
Thank you, guys.
Vote yes on the recall, and let's make history together.
Absolutely.